We're just ordinary people living ordinary lives until we see someone on TV win a $25,000 prize. Come on down. I'll play any game for 10 seconds of fame. Come on down. I'll make a deal, just let me spin the wheel. Come on down. To win $1 million, all you need is a little luck and thorough knowledge of multiple disparate trivial subjects.
All right, welcome back to Come On Down, the game show podcast hosted by me, John Baker.
And me! Woo!
What do you do? What the fuck are you doing?
Woo!
What do you stop? It's so loud. It's
Your
so
boy
loud.
J Money.
It's so loud. People are listening to this in like libraries.
No,
and
they're
stuff.
not. Libraries are for fucking poor people. We don't got no poor people
What do you
listeners.
do? I'm so intimidated by you right now. What is
Yeah.
all over your face?
What happens is when you get
Why are
famous
you
from
shouting?
20K views,
What?
you don't give a fuck about society's standards anymore.
What's the
Because you
the
don't
voice?
have to. Hey, I'll give you $20 to shut up. Ew, dude, that's dirty. Don't.
Wow.
And to answer your question, what's on my face? Happy powder.
So you have a sleeveless vest with nothing under it on right now?
Right.
And why is that?
Because I'm rich now.
Why are you rich?
As are you. Our podcast got 20,000 views on YouTube.
Oh yeah. Do you know how much money we got from that?
I'll give you $20 to look it up. There you go.
All right, let
you made
me-
yourself $40
Okay.
today.
Let me look it up. And
I'm paying you with your own money.
it says 0. It says we made $0 from that.
What?
We made 0. We don't have monetization enabled on our channel. So we made $0. The only money we get is from sponsorships.
Well, how come I have so much money in my pocket then?
I don't know. Did you rob a bank or something? And why are they all $20 bills?
No, there's some Hondas
Oh
in there.
Jesus! Here, take this. I think you might need this.
Nah, dude, I don't need it. That's you. You keep that. What's the number for Chase?
So
www.chase.com. Hey, are there takesies backsies on loans? Are there takesies backsies?
we'll have to look into that. Yeah. So this is Come On Down, the game show podcast.
With 20K views.
And yeah, so our last episode has 20,000 views on YouTube, which is mostly because it
we
has
have 20. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
I'll kind of cut you off
Sure.
there.
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you why we have 20,000 views.
Right.
Because our fans have been hiding and laying in wait
for us to put butts in the
for
thumbnail.
us to put butts in the thumbnail, and then they reveal themselves like a beautiful phoenix from the ashes of nobody.
So we've learned how to clickbait, and now we're going to be doing that from the future onwards.
Can't wait to get rich.
Clickbait, baby.
Yeah, and you're gonna see a lot of butts in the future.
Just every thumbnail is going to be butts. Our butts.
Live our butts, strangers' butts,
Yeah, there will be famous people, famous butts.
famous butts.
We're going to actually shift to a more butt-based format on this podcast.
Yeah.
We'll continue to be a game show podcast in that we'll say the game show podcast at the beginning of every episode.
Right.
But then we're just going to talk about butts for an hour.
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll take your butt, send us pictures of your butt, and
Yep.
we will do a full podcast where we review
A butt
your
breakdown.
A butt breakdown.
So that's what we're going to be doing going forward. But for today, we do have one more game show to talk about. So
Yeah.
sorry to bore you.
I feel like rich people also have bad posture.
They slouch a lot. Is that why you're so slouchy right now?
Because who cares?
It's true.
When you're rich
Who's gonna tell me what to do?
in views, I guess now it's just views
Yeah, just
and not
in views.
actual money.
Yeah, correct.
You don't
It's
care
always-
about the world.
All right. Before we hop in to today's game show, we do have a sponsor, which is how we do make our money.
You're right. And this one is a little different because it's good. It's more, and you'll see, but it's more, and we'll just read it.
This is more apparently. Today's advertiser is in this very room.
What? Where?
Hey, 20K matinee. You know how advertisers like to use nostalgia as a tool to sell stuff to people that don't need it?
Sure, I guess.
Well, if you can't beat them, join them.
He's right, guys. Today's sponsor is a nostalgia-packed strip club created by yours truly, the Come On Down podcast bros you've all come to love.
Views and Choose combines a fun pastime linked to happy childhood memories with your current seedy pastime due to repressed childhood memories.
And now that we're famous, we need to be extra woke to keep our image squeaky clean in the media, so our new strip club has a body positivity rule.
If you want to get a lap dance from one of our professional dancers, you gotta give them a lap dance directly after yours. That way no one is being exploited and everyone feels comfortable.
We don't want to go broke, so we gots to go wild.
Come On Down listeners get 20% off entry fees when they whisper the secret phrase, "Come on, view and chew," into the bouncer's left ear.
View and chew. Chew the past and view the present.
What is the chew all about?
Oh, shit. Did I not say this is Big League Chew?
This, at the
Did I
strip
not
club?
say it?
What?
It's Big League Chew, right?
What do you mean it's Big League Chew?
You get Big League Chew at the club.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You get-
That was the idea, and then it just wasn't in the script or communicated at all ever.
Shit. And we'll redo it. And we'll redo it.
All right, next week we'll give you
Hey,
guys.
dude, when you're famous and rich, you don't care about
But you're not. Either of those
expressing
things.
the
Either of those
full
things.
view.
Neither of those. Butts are famous, and we are poor still.
if I'm not rich, tell me. If I'm
You're
not
not.
rich,
You're not
give
rich.
me- if
You're
I'm
not rich.
Give me the number to a chase.com because I need to call
Right.
them immediately.
Number to it. That's a website. Chase.com is a website.
When you're rich, you don't care if something's a storefront or a website. You just
Or a phone number,
You just
apparently.
need to get the number to it.
Okay. Well,
Comment on our Come On Down podcast. What's the number to a chase.com?
email us. DM us. Slide in those DMs and let us know the number to chase.com. To chase.com, I'm sorry.
Chase.
chase.com.
Yeah.
So, today, in poor people news,
I don't care. Hey, I'll give you $20 to not tell me that. The headline.
I got $60 now. This is awesome. Today, we're going to be talking about a game show called Bullseye. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's a strikeout. I think we're going to stay in the realm of sports, and I'm going to call it a strikeout.
Okay. So Bullseye, for those of you that don't know, is a game show in the UK.
And we're sticking with...
We're sticking over the UK.
Maybe we got so many views because we did a UK game show.
Maybe the UKs love us.
Holy shit.
The English people love us.
Yeah.
You know why? Because our accent to them is sexy. You know how, like, if you see, like, a Keira Knightley and then she talks and you're like, ooh. Sexier because of her foreign accent. To them, we've got a foreign accent. We're sexier.
That's brilliant. And also, when we sing, we go into a British accent.
That is true.
So it's kind of a switcheroo.
Yeah.
Could you sing the Star Spangled Banner real quick?
Oh, say... Wait, what was that? Can you see?
you?
Yeah, that's how they do it.
Can you see?
Oi, say, can you see?
Where and
By
what?
the dawn's
and what
early
And what
light.
dialect is that?
Cockney.
Okay, that it makes more sense.
That's just my
That is
natural
why
singing.
it's
That's
so
my
bad.
natural singing voice.
Right.
We're gonna have to like way adjust the
think you're
audio
getting-
levels on this whole
I think
podcast.
you're getting high off of the cocaine on my nose.
I thought it was Happy Dust or whatever he called it.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah. So Bullseye is a British game show, and it was on ITV. Oi, TV.
There's no way that was.
That's
where
how they
was
said
on.
it. Oi, TV.
O-Y?
I.
O-I?
Just the letter I. ITV.
Oh, got it.
And
Oi.
it was hosted by a guy named Jim Bowen. And here's some things I learned about Jimmy.
Snooze fest
Little
name.
old Jimmy.
Snooze fest name.
Little old Jimmy Bowen here. Well, here, let's get into that. Let's get into that name a little bit.
I'll give you $20 to stop touching me.
Let's get into the name a little bit.
$20 to stop touching me.
So Jim Bowen, Here's the thing about Jim Bowen. I was
American.
watching this show, and he was talking about somebody like in like a charity or something like that. And he was like, oh, and this guy, oh no, it was a letter from somebody from home. And he's like, oh, and this guy was a war veteran.
Starter? Oh.
And he's 73 years old, so great to him for blah, blah, blah. And I was like, Jim Bowen, you're fucking close to 73 years old. Why are you acting
close.
like it's cool that this guy is old? And then I found out that when this show started, Jim Bowen was 44.
That's not true.
Well, here's the thing.
That's not true.
Here's the thing.
In the 80s?
In the 80s, in 1981, when this show started, he was 44. So, first of all, here's the problem.
Do people in British Benjamin Button?
It's not just British. People back in the day looked way older all the time.
Okay, I do totally agree with that. Like, kids in high school in the 80s looked like full-grown adults.
Right. And like 30-year-old people looked like what 60-year-old people look like now. It's insane. Especially if you look at, I always see this in like baseball cards and stuff like that.
My lips.
Yeah. How is that?
I mean, cocaine.
If you look at like baseball cards from like the 70s or 80s,
yeah,
like the guys in there look like they would be in a nursing home, but they're professional athletes.
I mean, Babe Ruth looked like he was 104. Smashing home
He
runs.
was actually. That was a thing.
Oh, really?
For him.
Oh,
that's why he
cool.
had so many home runs, because he played for 80 years.
So he got so good.
Yeah. But yeah, so he looked real old, and he was in his 40s to early 50s during the run of this show, which was amazing to me. Because I looked him up and I saw that he only died a couple of years ago, and I was like, holy shit, this guy must have lived forever. and it said he was like 79 when he died. And I was like, what the hell?
Oh my god. Folks, I don't understand how to even describe. He has a long droopy dog face with wrinkles in it, and he's got hella gray hair.
Yeah.
And I think the attire doesn't help either. Everybody in suits usually looks a lot older.
That's true. But I also, so I looked him up. I went to his Wikipedia page. You know, that's where I learned information like his birth date. But, so I went to the Jim Bowen Wikipedia page. He talked about his little name there. Mm-hmm. And it said, this is the first line of his Wikipedia page. James Brown Whitaker, born Peter Williams, known professionally as Jim Bowen.
What?
James Brown Whitaker, born Peter Williams, known professionally as Jim Bowen. And I said, hold on, what the fuck is going on here?
Jim Bowen.
What is going on here? And so apparently he was born Peter Williams.
Right, fine name.
Bastard child.
Oh no.
And then...
Does that mean the dad wasn't... It was
no
like
dad in the picture.
It was a God situation? His
yes.
mom just got pregnant?
Right. A bastard just like Jesus. And he was born, and then after 9 months, he was... I don't know if his mother was then like unfit or unwell or what.
Yeah.
And so he was adopted when he was 9 months old.
By God?
By some, the Whitakers.
Oh.
And so then he became James Brown Whitaker. They named him after their favorite soul singer.
Oh, that's James Brown.
Right. They named him after their favorite soul singer in 1940 or whenever the fuck he was born. And he became James Brown Whitaker. But then, that's a little weak. Then he became a teacher, which seemed about right for him and his personality.
Mr. Whitaker.
Mr. Whitaker. And then he started doing stand-up comedy because, he was knocking it out of the park with his zingers and his one-liners.
No, he was not. No.
Maybe in England.
Not funny.
Maybe for the tea crowd.
Is there such thing? What's after dad joke? Is there grandpa joke? Or I guess grandpa jokes would just be very racist jokes.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a great grandpa joke.
That's a great grandpa joke. He called them coloreds. So then he made his stage name Jim Bowen for whatever reason. But anyway, he was the host of the show. And I feel like I say this about a lot of the British game shows we watch, but I think this one takes the cake on it. Mm-hmm. Very
Lots
British.
Of dead silence. Oh, what?
Very fucking British.
Yes.
Like, so there are 6 contestants. It's 3 teams of 2 in the show. And I would say that the little like introductory patter that they have where they get to know them, I didn't even understand what the fuck was being talked about because everything was like, all right, we've got, why am I doing Irish? I don't know. What's the British? How does British sound? Thank
Oi.
you. Thank you. All
Thank
right.
you.
I'm Jim Bowen
I'm
here.
Adele.
I'm Jim Bowen, and all right, we've got our first contestant here, Mary. Mary's from Witsford upon Alphen, and lovely place in the country. Wouldn't you say Witsford upon Alphen? It's a lovely place. Wouldn't you say, Mary? Oh yes, I quite like it. All right, well, what you get about there in Witsford upon Alphen? Oh, I've been out there a couple of times with my wife and kids. We take them out there. We have a picnic on the Althorn River there.
So
And
you just can't understand
I don't know
names of places.
This names of
I
places.
heard every word you just said. I just didn't know the names of the places.
Right, but it's just really boring conversation. Also,
Yeah, very.
it's
true.
very formal and boring.
It is very. Formal.
and it's not like oh, so I heard you found a dead body there in Witsford upon Alphen one time. How's that?
If they had
how'd
said
how'd
that, it
turn
would
out?
have gone over my head because there's no inflection in the voice. It was all. I think what contributes to that, and I agree, is the monotone. It's just.
Well, wasn't
monotone.
I pretty monotone? In
No, I'm
my,
saying you were. I think that's the. I think that's the key, is that there is no excitement from being given or received.
Yeah, but yeah. So we get introduced to these 6 people. As I said, there's 3 teams of 2,
Yeah.
and then because the game show is called Bullseye, you might be led to believe that there's something with the game of darts involved in this. Would you think that?
Yes, I would.
Well, you'd be right.
I would be upset if darts. Here's the thing: when you told me we were doing this, I said to myself, "I'm going to be upset if darts isn't in this game."
So I'm glad you're so happy.
And
I'm glad you're
and
satisfied fully.
And then darts came into the game, and I was angrier that darts was in this game.
What? But
Yeah.
you wanted it to be.
At first, before it's like when you're a kid and you're like, man, I can't wait to grow up. I can have ice cream for breakfast, and I can go driving whenever I want.
And you
then
do.
you be an adult, and you're like, oh, ice cream gives me diarrhea now, so can't have that for breakfast unless it's a Saturday and I have the whole Saturday to have diarrhea in my house.
Did you do that yesterday?
No.
Oh,
I have pills for that now.
okay.
But now I have to pay a tax to eat dairy. So what I'm saying is you don't understand how good you have it now in your life of not having to watch a shitty game show. And then you face the reality, which is you have to watch a shitty game show.
I'm very sorry that this
Do you
is
understand what I'm saying?
Not really.
Do you get it?
It seems like some sort of existential crisis that you're having.
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine.
Good.
We're fine.
Good. I'm glad.
What's your next point on the fucking docket?
All right. I guess I'll just go on with the game show.
Sure.
Okay. So there's 3 teams of 2, and the way it works is each team, one person is the dart thrower, and one person is what they call the brains.
Again, just like the Christian game show, let's segregate these people into smart and dumb right off the bat.
Right. Don't you like that aspect of it?
No, I think they both should have been. And here are contestants. One's going to be the dart thrower. One's going to be the question answer. And they are humans.
Hey, turn up your mic a little bit. The gain. Mic. No, that one. You're quieter than me. I think it's because you're cool. You're holding it further away because you're rich.
Oh, shit, dude. Is it better now?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I'm not listening to it anyway.
Okay, I think we're good now.
Yeah. So there's the brains and then there's the dart thrower. And the way it works is there's like 3 questions for each team in the round.
Sure.
And so the brains, there's a dartboard on the wall, and it is divided into 10 sections.
Yes.
And each section is a category.
And it fucks with your brain because there's a regular sized dartboard.
Right.
And around it is what would you say, a 10-foot by 10-foot giant
probably about
circle
that shows all the category names. But you can't land there. You got to land on the dartboard.
and they're
That's the tricky
extended
part.
out, and the piece of the puzzle, the piece of the pie, mind you,
right,
comes out and is a mere giant extension of the dartboard.
Right.
And if I was on this show,
you just throw it into that area.
100% would have thrown it into the giant part of the dartboard. It would have either cracked it or
rejected.
What happens? Yeah, what happens in dart when you hit the wire comes back at you.
Right. So the brains person chooses a category that they want.
Okay, and this is important, right?
Kind of, somewhat.
No, this is very important, right? They choose
like science.
It's science, but they also say science for 10 points or science for 30 points.
Well, so they just say science. The number of question determines the value of the question. Like first round is worth 30, first question is worth 30, second is worth 50, third is worth 100. But to your point, they say science, and now the dart thrower of their partner, their goal is to aim it towards science, right? And on the section on the dartboard. And if they land in science, the closer they are to the bullseye, there's like a 50-point bonus and a 100-point bonus if it lands in science. However, let's say you land in literature.
Uh-oh.
You get no points.
Okay.
And now you have to do a literature question, even though the person wanted a science question. So that's like the opposite. Wouldn't you say?
Well,
if you were to say what the opposite of science was, wouldn't it be literature?
We must have watched different episodes because on the one I watched,
I'm sure we did. There's a lot of episodes.
He asked the contestant, the brain, what they would like. Or he was, tell your partner what aim for something. And that partner, the brain would say science for 30. And then the partner would hit science for 10. And the host would go, oh, still got science though.
Oh, really?
And so I was thinking the whole time, what is this 10-second waste of time where you want the brain to say what I just didn't understand it.
So maybe that was a rule change after the first season. Because throughout the rest of the program was you landed wherever you landed, you had to answer the question for the category you landed in.
Yeah.
But if you landed in the category that the brain chose, you got bonus points for it.
Oh, there were no bonus points in this.
Yeah. And then the brain gets the question in whatever category you land in. And if they get it wrong, then one of the other two brains can buzz in and get the right answer for the points.
So the shows we watched were entirely different then. Entirely.
What?
There was no option for any brain to get the points. It was you throw it, you answer the question, you get the points for whatever you threw it in.
Do you think you watched the right show?
There was a dartboard.
Well, that's good.
There was a dartboard in it. And there was a British guy that looked like he was 92, but apparently he was 40.
Okay. Well, we're similar. We're watching similar shows at least, just with some different rules.
It sounds like you had a more enjoyable show.
I don't know.
Mine seemed real, just dumb.
I'm sorry. I mean, all right. I'm sorry to hear that. But
I'll give you $20. I'll give you $20 to make a time machine and go back in time so I didn't have to watch this shitty episode.
Okay, well, it looks like I'm looking at your notes over here, and it looks like there was spelling was one of the categories. That was one of the categories that I saw.
Okay, good.
So
we can talk about that.
That's good. But basically, they're playing this first round. They go through all the questions, 3 questions per team. But if the dart thrower, here's the catch. Each time a category is used, it's eliminated.
Can't throw it in there anymore.
So if the dart thrower hits that category again, you just don't get a question.
Yeah, and next, you fucking idiot.
It's the next person's turn
aim
now.
better next time.
So you got to be pretty good at darts.
You have to be very good at darts. Right. If one of you on the team is not good at darts, you are not going to make it past the second round.
You're not going to get any questions.
And the host is going to bully you.
Speaking of bully, by the way.
What's up?
That's the name of the mascot of the show. A bull named Bully.
And it's a cartoon.
And he fucking... I loved the intro of this show.
Hated it.
I loved it. It's this fucking cartoon bull. And he's like holding on to a dart that's flying through space. Mm-hmm. I loved it.
Yeah, if you didn't know what this was and you watched the intro...
I wish I was high. I wish I had all your cocaine before I could watch this intro.
You think, oh, I'm going to watch a cartoon show.
Bully. It's all about Bully.
And then an old geriatric British guy comes on and says...
You're from Westford upon Avon, eh?
Welcome to the show, Bullseye. Welcome to the Bullseye. And we're going to be talking about Alshanza Hill, where some of our contestants are from.
That's good.
Right.
That's a pretty good impression.
Yeah,
I liked it.
Yeah.
So you do have to be good at darts. I felt bad, but there was this. So there were 3 teams on this episode I watched.
Yeah.
One of them, the dart thrower was a woman.
Okay.
And she was so fucking fast.
Dude,
she was
the
missing.
guy...
She was just always missing.
Dude, the guy on my show was horrendous. You know the first thing where they all throw at the fake dartboard to see who goes first?
Uh-huh.
Well, he was like on the outer rim of the dartboard. Like almost didn't make it on the dartboard.
Yikes.
And the other 2 people were almost bullseyes.
Yeah. There's definitely gaps in the skill level of some of the dart throwers on the show, I would say.
Yes.
And I don't know. There's probably some pressure that can really affect it's something as precise as darts. That added little pressure of not just being at the bar with your friends, your mates.
Your mates. With a pint.
So
of Jerry's.
Get all those points in round 1. Then round 2 opens things up a little bit because it's called pounds for points.
Ooh.
Pounds for points. Because remember, pounds are what they call money over there.
Right.
You've got to keep that in mind or you're not going to follow here.
You're not going to get this segment.
So pounds for points. The dart thrower it's now a regulation dartboard. Regular ass dartboard.
Okay.
And there's a guy named Tony Green, by the way, who's a professional darts referee.
Doubt it.
Kind of became the sidekick on this show.
Oh, he's a referee.
And he just stands next to the dartboard and calls out what happens, basically.
God, we saw so different. Our shows were totally different.
What? How?
This guy didn't exist in mine.
So they didn't add him till the 2nd season. You must have seen season 1.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So Tony Green stands next to the dartboard and kind of calls out what's happening. So there's a regular dartboard now with the regular points and little rings and stuff like that.
Doubles, triple ring.
Right. And so each of the darts throwers throws 3 darts like you would in a regular, darts game.
Yeah.
And whoever has the highest score, their brain gets a question, and it is for that amount of pounds.
Right.
So if you get 3 triple 20s, you're getting a question for 180 pounds.
Right. And this is where if you can't play darts,
this is where you lose
you're
miserably.
done.
Like I said, that woman in this round, she was the lowest score all 3 times, and so their team never even got a question. They never got one question. But
did they leave with 0 pounds, or did they leave with?
They left with the pounds that they earned in
$13?
round 1. They left. So at the end of the 2nd round, the 2 lowest teams are eliminated. The highest scoring team at this point moves on. The 2 lowest teams, they do get to keep the pounds that they earned, and they get a bully dart set and a mug.
Yep, and the host pulls this out of the podium and hands it to them as if someone is just handing random knickknacks to you.
I guess in season 2 and beyond, they fixed it up so they're displayed on a table.
Okay,
and they walk over the table.
I watched a show,
the beta version of the show.
Yeah, I watched a show that was half baked in the back room of a pub. And they just found a guy named Jim Bowen. Jim Bowen. I like how he kept the JB though. I just realized that.
Yeah. So the he said his wife's maiden name was Owen, and then his mother's maiden name was Brown, so he combined them into Bowen.
Oh, that's fun.
That's the most fun thing about him.
Yeah, that is absolutely the most fun thing about him.
So yeah, they got their little tchotchkes and whatever pounds that they earned to take home with them. But now the winning team gets to move on to the bonus round.
They get to just play darts now.
So, but hold on.
Okay.
And maybe this didn't happen in your episode because they're still figuring things out. They're still in beta mode.
Okay.
What happens next is called the Bronze Bully. And
I'm just gonna put my mic down and let you talk because
and so
I
what
have no
happens
input.
here is a ringer comes in, like a professional darts player.
Okay, no, I did see that.
Okay. And the contestants who won now, they have a charity of their choosing.
Uh-huh.
And the professional darts player gets 9 throws at the darts board to accumulate as high a score as he can in those 9 darts. And whatever his score is, that many pounds gets donated to the charity of the winner's choosing.
Okay.
So, and then at the end of the season, whatever professional got the highest score that season,
Yeah.
got the bronze bully.
And that is
A statue of the bully mascot.
the insane
Brown.
cartoon character?
Yes,
Okay.
but he's a bronze now, and so that's it. And my favorite, so they go to commercial after, determining the winner and eliminating the other 2 teams.
Did you get to see any British commercials?
I did not.
Me neither.
I skipped. And so, but I think one of my favorite parts is they come back from the commercial, and Jim Bowen says to welcome the crowd back in, get them all hyped up and excited for this. What's going on here? He says, "If you enjoyed the first half, we think you'll enjoy this."
If you enjoyed a shit game show for 15 minutes, you're gonna enjoy it for another 15.
Yeah. So now they have what they call Bully's prize board.
Okay, yep.
And it's a big dart board, and it's now divided into 8 sections.
Sure.
And in the 8 sections, each one has a prize, and they reveal all the prize.
That
The
section
prizes.
is red. That's a red section on the board.
Right, exactly.
Red and white.
So
Or green.
black. It was red and black.
Red and black, okay.
So they reveal all the prizes in these 8 sections on the board, and the next weirdest part was every time they reveal what's behind one of the numbers, because it's 1 through 8.
Yep.
They go. There's an announcer who goes, "In 1," and then it's like a Kodak camera. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
In 2.
A stereo set.
In 3.
A color television.
In 4.
A bad Cockney accent.
In 5. And I was like, what is this weird, in every single time. It was very confusing.
Yeah.
And so now,
I think it would have worked if it was like Wheel of Fortune style, when they're like, and behind your winnings is $50,000.
Yeah,
But it was
exactly.
like a day crescendo of, and which rightfully so, because the prizes sucked dicks.
in 1, alarm clock. In 2, Polaroid.
Just
In
one
3.
Polaroid.
Just a Polaroid. You can choose what it's of. You can choose what it's of.
That's pretty cool.
Yes. You can send you can send a photographer with a Polaroid camera out to take a photo of anything in the world, and you get that one Polaroid.
Right. Yeah. What would you choose?
A butthole.
I would choose the winning lottery numbers.
Whoa. But if they're already
But like
out.
last year.
Last year's
winning lottery
okay.
numbers.
That wouldn't help you that much then.
No.
So they now have 9 turns, basically. The dart thrower gets 6 throws, and the non-dart thrower gets 3 throws.
Like, thank God they're throwing the darts now.
To try and get into one of the prize sections, basically.
The sliver of red.
Yes, the sliver, because it looks like, the dartboard is divided into 8, so you can kind of land anywhere and get a prize. But no, each of the sections is like 2/3 black and 1/3 red.
Right.
And you have to land in the red part to get it. But the bullseye in the middle is a bigger special prize.
Yeah.
The best prize is for the bullseye.
It's a gold bully.
Yeah, you just get a statue.
You just get a statue.
Like an episode I watched, it was a 24-inch TV was the bullseye.
Dude, mine was a car.
What?
But like a real shitty car.
Oh, like a Chevy Nova.
Worse. Smaller. It looked like what
Geo
a
Metro?
smart car. Or you know the BMW that Larry David drives in it looked like that, but not as cool.
Wow, a
and nice.
BMW?
It was not a BMW.
So that's what you could get for the bullseye. It was never made clear, and I couldn't even find this online. In fact, online people said it was never made clear whether both people get, do you get a TV to share and you don't live with each other?
Well, do they not? I thought it was only roommates were allowed to compete.
Only roommates. You're a limit. And if they found out you weren't, you were severely punished.
Yeah. You had to watch the next episode of Bullseye.
Yeah. So what I did like about this, though, you get all these prizes, right? You're in your 9 throws. You got 5 of the prizes, whatever. And now you can gamble them.
Yeah.
You can gamble your prizes for Bully's Star Prize.
Okay, the car was the star prize.
Okay, there you go. So the Bully's Star Prize is you gamble. What you have to do is there's a back to a regulation dartboard again.
Oh, thank God.
Because let's alternate. Back to a regulation dartboard. Each person gets 3 throws, and if your total score across the 6 throws meets or exceeds 101 points,
right,
you get to keep all the prizes you earned before and the star prize, Bully's Star Prize.
Yes.
If you get less than 101, you lose it all. But you do get to keep the money that you earn and your mugs and your darts
and some knickknacks from behind the podium. Yep.
Yeah, whatever they just found in the back line around, you get to keep all that. But you're gambling to get 101 points. And in this episode I watched, the brain guy got 60, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is an easy win." Now the darts guy only has to get 51.
Yeah.
And he got 7.
Oh no.
7.
The one I watched, the first guy got 100. He got
So the other guy just has to hit the board once.
100 points, and I was like, not entertaining, not exciting anymore.
The second guy just has to close his eyes and throw it in the general direction.
If this guy doesn't have a stroke, they're gonna win.
Yeah. Well, that's good that they won the car, though. The Geo Metro.
It looked similar, but even more squished.
Oh. Yeah.
You know, like the new body model of the wow.
Is it because of the cocaine catching up to you?
The body for the new Mustang. You know how it looked like it just someone chopped off the front? That's what it looked like, but somebody had done that to the front, back, and middle.
Then just pieced it all back together.
Right.
So that's pretty much the show. That's Bullseye right there.
That's it. Bullseye.
That's Bullseye. We crushed it. So there's a reason for
Dude,
your
so
cocaine is spreading around.
Dude.
That we've done this show, and it's because my wife asked me to.
And why is that? Does she like us being in pain?
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you about a guy named John Cooper, aka the Bullseye Killer. The Bullseye Killer. He was shouting Bullseye.
I'm assuming it was
saying.
just a guy that was on the show once and then killed a person.
He killed it.
Yeah.
So here's what happened. And my wife, she likes murder. Like all the women today,
love it.
Love murder. I think
it's their porn.
That's the thing. I think what happened was, and I can't get this verified, but I can't get this denied outright by anybody. Okay. You know, all these fucking hormones that they pump into the cows that our kids drink the milk and they eat the meat because of all these hormones they're juicing them up with. Yeah. What they're doing is they're turning all of our kids, and they have been for the last 30 years, into psychopaths who just love dead bodies and murder and have no empathy. And it's all they care about is murder, murder, murder. And you know why it happened?
Is it only in cows?
It's in everything. It's in
chicken.
Because some people are vegetarian, so they put it in the chemtrails.
Why does it need to be from the sky if it's vegetarian when they could just put it in lettuce?
They do. But some people, if you go on like a vow of like a monk or something, they want to make. Because what happened was Vietnam. The Vietnam War happened. Right. All right, and we lost. And that ended.
We respectfully
declined. And that ended our undefeated streak in wars. All right. So we lost Vietnam.
So what about the Alamo?
And all these people were coming back. That was just Texas. That was not America. And that was just a battle, not a war. And all these people were coming back, and they were saying, "Oh, they've got PTSD."
War of 1812.
And don't worry about that one. We figured it out by the end. And they've got PTSD. And all these people are emotionally damaged and and all messed up from. Are you farting?
Sorry, when I do cocaine, it makes my stomach do bubble guts.
Jesus Christ!
I'll give you $100 to edit that out.
And that's just such an aggressive way to fart.
I turned away from you.
Yeah, it was just weird.
I could have absolutely turned it towards you. And taken money back. You got the best deal. I farted away from you and gave you money.
What a deal. And we were losing all these wars. We're losing all these people.
Yeah.
We needed to toughen them up. We needed to make people who don't care if they see some fucked up shit.
Okay.
So the government found some chemicals that brainwash us all into psychopaths.
Okay, and that was the connection. The government just found some chemicals?
Right.
Okay.
On the side of the road or something.
Sure.
And they started, pumping them into our food supply, pumping them into our chemtrails, our fluoride, everywhere they could. They're pumping this into us, so we don't care about seeing dead people anymore. We don't care about hearing about grisly murders. We're into it. We're excited by it. We're horny for that shit. We want to kill, murder, die.
What about
and that's why everybody loves all the true crime now.
What about the farmers that make their own food and it doesn't go through the government process?
Oh, I'm sorry. You don't think they're in on it?
What?
You don't think they're in on it?
You're saying they're like patsies to the government and they're helping put chemicals in the food?
Yes, absolutely. Here's what they tell the farmers. They say, hey, farmers, when we've got a war, who goes off to war? It's all the farmers' kids. It's all these working class. Hey, listen, we'll save your kids. All you got to do is
save your kids.
Is poison the rest of the supply so they're all horny to go off to war. Your kids don't even have to go because we got enough people that are horny for murder. Think about it.
I want to poke holes in this.
But you can't.
I can't.
You can't. That's what I'm saying.
No, it makes sense.
I haven't had it confirmed, but I haven't had it denied either.
So what is Erica, what do you think Erica eats that gives her the most hormones for craving the murder?
Quinoa.
You think
quinoa is full of murder
hormones? Does she eat meat?
Yeah.
You think the quinoa chemicals are stronger than the meat chemicals?
Oh, I'm sorry. Who do you think needs to be better trained to go fight in wars and not worry about any of the moral quandaries that they have?
Men.
People who eat red meat or people who are eating quinoa and kale and things like that. Those are the people we need to get up to murder horny.
So you think meat eaters are ethicless murder zombies?
The majority. I wouldn't say all.
Okay.
I know I am.
I guess. I don't like murder that much. I have to cover my eyes when there's an awkward sex thing on television.
What does that have to do with murder?
Sex is basically murder.
Yeah. For some of us.
Sex is one iota of a choke harder than murder.
Jesus. You're doing some interesting stuff. You need to tell me about that.
When you get famous and rich, you start doing some crazy fuck shit because you've already beaten society.
They let you do whatever you want.
Everything is already boring to you because you have the money and tools to unlock all the doors in the economy world. Now you gravitate into the more seedy parts.
All right, now you're just getting into crazy conspiracy theories.
Sorry, yeah, my bad.
Let's reel it back. So, John Cooper, the Bullseye Killer, as he was known, let's wind you back a little bit to 1985. There was this brother and sister.
Jim Bowen is 72 years old.
Yes. I think he was 104 at that point. In 1985, there's this brother and sister in this, they're like, Oceanside Manor or whatever in England, wherever it was. And they got murdered.
Oh, no.
They got murdered, and the weapon was the brother's shotgun. All right?
Okay. I don't see where the bullseye falls into place.
All right. Let me keep going then.
Okay.
Shouldn't I? Shan't I?
That's the name.
Shan't I?
Yeah, that's a type of building that people live in.
Yeah. So, 1989, we fast forward a little bit. All right?
Okay, hold on. Okay.
Okay. We're fast forward.
Gorbachev?
1989. Yes, Mr. Gorbachev. No, that was 87 or something. Anyway.
Hey, servant? Butler. He must have stepped out.
Oh.
I hired a butler.
And he knows things like when famous quotes were said.
That's why I hired him.
Okay.
It's so because I don't want to Google
Yeah.
anymore. I don't want the trace of the weird
That
stuff I
makes
Google
sense.
now that I'm famous and rich.
Right, that makes sense. He can do it.
Right.
So now let's go to 1989. This couple's walking along a trail. What is it?
87.
Oh, what did I say? 87, motherfucker.
remember what you said.
87. So
Hey, Butler, you're fired. You're my new guy. Here's $20. Every time you answer a question from me, I'll give you $20.
So we fast forward to 1989. There's this couple. They're walking along this trail in the same general area.
Sure.
They get murdered, and
For why?
for murder's sake.
Okay.
And the weapon appears to be the same shotgun that the brother in the 1985 murder owned and was murdered with.
Whoa. Still don't care because Bullseye hasn't come into play yet.
1995.
Mr. Gorbachev, to put back this wall.
Put the wall back up. Big mistake. I
Interesting.
think we fucked this up. 1995. There's this group of teenagers kind of in the same area hanging out.
Yeah.
This dude comes up with a shotgun and he says, "Hey, you girl, I'm going to rape you.
Oh.
You other girl, I'm going to sexually assault you." Not full on rape though.
Wait, how come she got downgraded to...
I don't know. He was like a little less horny after raping the first one or
Well,
something.
I guess if you think about it, it's more upgraded, not downgraded.
For her.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. So, and they all scatter, whatever. Nobody gets murdered though. Is the good news. None of these cases are ever solved. They go cold.
So none of those kids got killed?
No.
Or raped or anything?
No, I told you one of them got raped and one of them got sexually assaulted.
I didn't do good in reading comprehension.
listening.
I'm sorry.
So these cases all go cold, but they think that they're all related.
Yeah, it's the same fucking shotgun.
Right. So years and years go by. Now we're in 2009. All right.
Okay.
And so in 1989, there were people that said, "Hey, we saw this guy kind of around the area. He was seeming a little sketchy.
Yeah.
I saw him from the side. This is what he looked like." So
This is like those things we did in elementary school when they took a picture of you and then it would make like a black profile of your face.
yeah. So
Remember that?
yes.
You remember doing that?
Yeah, but it wasn't quite like that. It was like one of those stupid fucking police artist sketches, but of a guy standing
Throwing
sideways
shade on the people that are just trying to help catch criminals.
with their great art. Yeah, people who couldn't fucking crack it as real artists. So here they are working for the
Unbelievable.
man.
Unbelievable.
So anyway,
I support you, Sketch Artists of America Guild, Sketch Artists
Yeah.
Guild of America.
John Cooper at this point, he's in jail
Why?
for 30 robberies.
That's so many robberies.
Right, there's a lot of robberies. So John Cooper, he kind of fell into a spiral of gambling addiction because in the 70s he won some contests
Okay.
and got some money and became a gambleaholic.
Got it.
So he's then robbed a bunch of people. He ends up in jail for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in the same area as these murders.
Shocking.
And so the cold case police are looking into these cases.
Yeah.
And they're like, I wonder if maybe this guy's involved. And then they found out that 4 weeks before the 1989 murder,
Whoa.
he was a contestant on Bullseye.
God, what a loose connection.
He was the dart thrower on Bullseye.
Was he constantly
And they
aiming at
won.
Jim Bowen?
Yeah. He killed 17 people with those
Oh
darts.
my gosh.
And he won on the show.
Okay.
And so the detective called up like the Bullseye producers
Yeah.
and he said, "Hey, do you have that episode that this guy was on in 1989, 4 weeks before this murder?" And they got it to him, and he went through frame by frame until John Cooper was standing in the same kind of pose as the police sketch artist drew him in. And he said, the cold case investigator said, "It looked like it was a tracing." That was what he said.
Whoa.
He said it looked like it was a tracing. It looked like the perfect match. This was the guy who 4 weeks later double murdered some people.
Why didn't we just do this part the whole time? Why would we even talk about the show?
We should have just talked about John
Yes.
Cooper and the tracing of him.
Looked like a tracing.
Looked like a tracing.
Did you ever have those drawing books when you were a kid that were of superheroes and they had the thin trace paper?
Oh yeah, of course. And then you trace and you're like, look, I did it.
Yeah.
I fucking did nothing. God, talk about trophy generation.
I mean,
you didn't do
took,
shit.
You took the time to trace
Just
it.
color. Just fucking color.
And that's why there's so many police sketch artists, because they were
they thought
handheld
they were good
into-
artists.
Yes.
they're like, look, my Superman's perfect.
Yeah.
So they went and they found some shorts in the
Hot.
that he had,
Okay.
Mr. Cooper, and they said, these shorts seem shorter than the shorts that were described by the witness. So these probably aren't them. But then they found out
Wait a minute.
those shorts were hemmed
Excuse
by
me?
John Cooper's wife. And so what they did was they like unhemmed them.
Don't tell me there's blood on it.
And there's blood
No!
trapped inside the hems of one of the murder victims. Still there. Test positive for a DNA match for that blood. They also found a shotgun that he had that was painted black. They peeled off the paint.
There was
Blood
Oh my god.
from one of the murder victims preserved underneath the paint.
Think about how many times cold case detectives found stuff like this in like the 50s and 60s and couldn't do anything about it because there wasn't DNA checking. So they were like, "Why? Thanks for coming in down. We found some blood on your pants. What is that?" I don't remember.
Exactly.
All right, you have a good day, sir.
Exactly. That's, by the way, 50s? No, this didn't exist until like the late 90s, really.
Okay, there you go.
Like, not that long ago. Yeah, you could just have blood all over you and be like, I cut myself shaving.
yeah.
And they're like, well, we have no way to disprove that, so okay.
So in the 50s, it was like, "Did you see who killed your wife?" And they're like, "No." And they're like, "Have a good day. Good
Well,
luck."
that's why all the fucking serial killers were in the past. Like, you don't have serial killers now.
Dude, it's going to be scary when we have a serial killer get so good at doing
That they
it.
can get through all of the modern
Yeah.
tools, they can still get away with serial killing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this guy, you know, he was kind of a serial killer in that way, in the sense that he killed multiple people over a long period of time and wasn't caught until years and years later.
That's the smartest way. If you are going to kill people, give yourself a...
He just popped up every 5 years or so and
Yeah.
was like, let me get a little killing in.
Yeah.
Do some
If
murdering,
you-
some raping.
If you can put your ego aside and not have to like make your mark on or take something from, you know, because that's like
Right.
serial killers.
Yeah, they've got
usually-
the souvenirs or whatever.
Yes. So if you can avoid that and give yourself a healthy 2 to 3 to 4 years in
Right.
between a killing,
If
you can
you-
kill as much as you want.
If you're hopped up on quinoa and
Yeah.
and you just got to kill, just don't take any trophies.
Don't take trophies and just take a mental picture.
I have to tell you something.
Oh no.
This is a bit changed because this is going back to my wife who recommended that we do this because she heard about the Bullseye Killer.
Yeah.
When we did Great American Bible Challenge,
I barely remember.
the American Bible Challenge.
When you do a lot of cocaine, you have memory loss.
Of course, I understand that. When we did American Bible Challenge, allegedly,
God.
during the episode, I said something about how Moses left Egypt in the book of Exile.
That's a book name?
No, it's Exodus, but apparently I said Exile, and she
okay.
said I sounded like a real idiot. And so I just needed to come on the air and correct that right now.
That you are an idiot?
Well, yeah, obviously.
Okay.
But I just want, if people are out there and they're like, man, I didn't know there was a book of exile in the Bible. I need to get that. Is that a deep cut? What is that? No, it doesn't exist.
Oh, you said it on the
Exodus.
show.
Yeah, I said it on the show.
Don't do that. Let's not open up the door to a fact check. We'll be here. We'll be
Let's
here
see
forever.
let's see what PolitiFact has to say about it.
Ugh.
Oh wait, they said Moses wasn't real. Yeah, so that is John Cooper, the Bullseye Killer,
The Bullseye Killer.
who is now serving life in prison.
For what?
So
So when you do cocaine, you have memory loss.
for being too good at darts.
Okay. Hey, he sounds fun. Let's have him on the show.
Yeah, we'll get him on here. Like, oh, gents. Oh yeah. 5 years about up. Time for me to do some more killing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Bullseye. What do you think about it as a show?
Not good. Not enjoyable.
Okay.
Not good. If usually the suspense element is a pretty big key as to whether I'm going to enjoy it or not, as well as the money. Usually, I like to see big prizes, and the suspense was immediately sucked away after the first round when you see these people throw darts, because you see, oh, this person is bad, and they're immediately going like, I can
They're not going to get better at darts.
I can already stop watching them. And then, so that's one thing I didn't like. 30 pounds and some knickknacks seems insulting for second place. Don't give me the 30 pounds. He gave it to him in loose, bills, too. It just...
here's a $7 bill, a $3 bill.
Yeah.
That's what they have in England. You know how we have, 5s and 10s?
Yeah.
They have 3s and 7s
Sure.
and $14 bills.
We had to do everything different.
Yeah.
And I want to just play this for you.
Okay.
Because I think, and I don't know if I'm crazy or not, but there was a spelling question.
Yep, spelling was a category.
lady was asked to spell.
Sure.
She spelled it incorrectly.
Right.
And got the points, and nobody said anything about it.
And they showed the proper spelling on the screen? Okay, we're going to play this, and I'm going to edit it in the video and in the audio so that you guys can hear this.
Concomitant.
CONCOM. ITANT.
Good girl. It was a difficult one.
You got it right.
ENT. She said ENT.
I don't think she did.
ITANT.
Good girl. It was a difficult one.
I think she said A, but she's got an accent that you're not used to.
No, dude.
Good girl. It was a difficult one.
ITANT.
Good girl. It was
That doesn't sound like E.
I think it's an A. I think you're the one who's wrong here, and now you're going to look stupid. I think people are going to hear this.
I'll give you $20 to never call me stupid again. Take your money.
No, take the fucking 20 back. I'm not going to take that deal.
What?
I'm not taking that
You touched
deal.
it last. You had. Damn it! I touched it.
Yeah, I think she got it right.
I think you're wrong. I think everybody is wrong, and I'm
By the
right.
way,
and that's not.
By the
an
way,
abnormal
that word
to
was
think.
concomitant?
Concomitant.
Concomitant?
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean? Because when I watched, the word was psychic.
Yeah, that's a much easier one.
Yeah, it's a word that I've heard of before.
Concomitant. Naturally accompanying or associated.
So
when I think baker, I think bitch. Bitch is concomitant to baker.
Wow. Is that with an ENT or an ANT?
I would say with an A. Everybody else apparently would say E.
So what else? What did you have other thoughts on this program?
Yeah, watching this random dude play darts fucking sucks. And it was the guy, you said it was like a professional player comes out. I think it was for the charity part.
Yeah.
And he wasn't good. And it was like, this guy's a professional.
Yeah, so I saw that too. They're like, this guy came from America. He's a professional, and he fucking sucked.
Yeah, he wasn't good. He wasn't good.
How do you make it better?
I thought the circus intro music was kind of fun.
Yeah, I told you the opening animation with Bully was awesome.
I mean, it wasn't like the typical bum bum ba-da-da-da-dum, bum bum, but it was very close.
Yeah, look at your likes. Giant cartoon bull as mascot.
I know. I changed my mind.
Oh, whatever.
Giant ribbon contestants wear reminds me of mums in high school.
Well, if you are not in the state of Texas, that means nothing to you. Did you know that?
Yeah, the South in general.
It's just like a Texas thing, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's it.
Okay. Nice talking to you guys.
Did I say watching this random dude play darts fucking sucks?
You did say that,
okay.
yes.
Right.
You did say that. How do you make it better?
More intense music. The music was way too concomitant.
It was also what was awkward was I assume this was instructions to the audience, but because of like the dart throwing, they were just completely silent the whole time. So somebody would hit the fucking bullseye and there was just silence. They're like, "Oh, you got the bullseye there."
Yeah, you got the bullseye. I would say the other contestant, the brain, needs to be strapped to the board, and the areas you have to hit are in between their limbs.
I like that. I like that.
And instead of bullseye, we do it javelin style.
So you're throwing a giant javelin?
Yeah, and it's filmed on a football field.
Yeah, and it's like the yard line, the different yard lines are the different areas for the questions, and you've got to land it.
Yep.
So if you're weak or something, you're just totally fucked for those farther.
Wasn't any different than this game. If you didn't play darts, you were totally fucked.
That's true.
And I liked that. So I want to keep that in my javelin one.
That was what I liked about it. I've got to watch people suck at darts and go, ha ha!
Yeah.
That idiot.
That idiot.
Yeah, there was
What a
one.
dumb bloke.
So the one with there was the woman dart thrower.
Yeah.
Who again I felt bad for her, especially so because she was the only woman on the whole program.
Yeah.
And she was the worst at darts for sure. Her brains partner, like, he was like, all right, I'd like the category England, and then she missed it, and so then he had to answer from some other random category, and then it gets back around to him, and he's like, well, let's try England again. And then she missed it again. And then he's like, all right, I'm going to stick with England for the third time. And she got it.
And then what?
I mean, they were way behind at that point because everybody else had landed in the right category every single time and she hadn't.
Right.
So they lost. I mean, they got eliminated. Because also in the second round, she had the lowest score every single time,
That's
as I
so
said.
sad.
So, yeah, it's an interesting... And here's the thing. This is one of the most beloved game shows in British history.
False.
That's what I've heard.
From where?
All my British friends.
Who? Name one.
Tony.
Damn it. Yeah. I do know Tony. He's a British guy.
Yeah, so... No, there was a revival in 1996 for a year.
Oh, no.
Or no, sorry, 2006, I mean, because it went off air in 1995. There was a revival in 2006, and it's been like they've done some specials where people compete in a bunch of different game show type of things.
Okay.
And they've brought it back for little like one-offs for that. In recent years, there's a game show kind of based on it in Wales, which, you know, is an area in the UK.
Sure.
And here's something that I learned in my research here.
Yeah.
It said on the Welsh language TV station, and I said, the what now? Wales? First of all,
Yeah.
they have a flag. You know how countries have a flag?
Sure.
You know what's on the Wales flag?
So whale.
A dragon.
Doing what though?
Uh,
Playing darts?
Yeah, it's a dragon playing darts. But they have a language? You can't have your own language.
I mean, there are parts of Africa that have their own language.
Well, yeah, of course. But I mean, this is part of the same country as the UK. Africa's not a fucking country.
Basically.
Whoa.
It's just one big country.
Africa is one big country.
Yeah, on its own continent.
With a bunch of other countries inside of it.
Those are basically states.
States?
Yeah.
Okay. So South Africa is like
A state.
the Texas
Yeah.
of Africa.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That
I
has the
guess.
most freedom in Africa.
Oh, that makes sense, I guess, yeah. So that's Bullseye and Bully the Bull, everybody's favorite cartoon bull mascot.
Yeah.
And he pops up onto the screen every now and then doing his bull shit.
Yeah. Riding a dart into space.
Riding a dart through space. Yeah, I'm going to give this a 1.5 buzzers out of 5.
Okay. I'm going to... Hold on.
What was that?
Oh! I'm going to give it 5, dude. I'm going to give it 5.
Do you know that there's a video version of this that people can see that you just leaned over
I'm going to give
and
it...
did nothing?
Well, this is blocking the camera, and so they can't see the cocaine back here.
Oh, okay.
Also, did you hear how congested I was?
It was very wet.
I'm congested.
It's a very wet snort.
What happens when you do cocaine? You get a drip
Oh.
in the back of your throat.
Uh-huh.
And
See,
that's
I don't
and
do
now I have a
cocaine, so
cold.
that makes sense.
And now I have a cold.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
I mean, I'm gonna give it 0.
0 buzzers.
I'm gonna give it 0 buzzers.
So it's an average of 0.75 buzzers.
It was such
maybe
a bad
an all-time
show.
low. It was very weird. And it's very weird that it is very beloved in England. I guess, you know what? They like pubs. They like their darts.
Also, like,
they like their darts.
you know what else they like? Go over to England and have food. It's bland as
It is
fuck.
bland. They like bland
They
stuff.
like bland, boring shit.
Yeah, like Coldplay.
And Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, but she's American.
But when she's over there,
They like her. That's true.
Yeah.
They do. All right, this has been Come On Down, the Game Show podcast. Tune in next week where we will have Gwyneth Paltrow on as a special
I'll
guest.
give you $100 to tune in next week. I'll give you $100.
But what if 20,000 people will watch again?
Well, you just told me those are all fake people.
I didn't say they were fake people.
I'll give you $1 if you tune in.
That's still $20,000.
Hey, baby, I took a $50,000 loan out from Chase.com, so I'm good. And if anybody can find that number to Chase.com, I am going to need that.
Slide into the DMs,
Yeah.
please. Or if you are like a sick artist who thinks that we should collab, slide into the DMs, because a lot of you are doing that also already. So I just wanted to formally put it out there.
Yeah.
If you're some sort of artist that thinks, hey, you guys have sick content, we should collab,
Yeah.
then send us a message and you'll be in that little waiting area that doesn't go into the regular inbox
Sure.
with
And-
all the other people.
And know that we are only going to unlock your message if you do have the number to a Chase.com.